So I can take my super old 1970s, 1960s Schmidt and Bender hunting scope, and I can change the reticles in that,
Sometimes,
and I can put illumination
depends
in that?
on the configuration. But
wow, I did not know that. That's kind of cool. I like that. Welcome to Schmidt and Bender. We're here with Jonas, the head of R&D, so research and development. I deal with ELR-Precision. So what we have here is the CM2 high performance 10-60 by 56 in an F-class reticle version with the 1/8 MOA turrets. So please, Jonas, tell us about this scope and what's so special about the 10-60. Why is it necessary to have 60 power?
yeah, it's a very nice scope, especially for F-class in the second focal plane. We are focused to make a very high optic quality to see the target also in bad conditions, weather conditions, to see also maybe the impacts, to see the V-bolts and so on. I think it's a very important thing, but have it still a very light scope. So it's a premium scope with 940 grams. It's very very unique to have the special, and we have the turrets also for for scopes like a 10-60 with 79 MOA elevation.
Right.
It's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
And you have the on the version that you have here, you got really nice clicks on the elevation turret. You have also really nice clicks on the windage turret. The parallax, to me, I feel that this is the just right. It's right in that Goldilocks zone of how I like my parallax to be. The zoom, do you make a throw lever for this?
Yes, we have a throw lever you can put in any gap and choose your own position, what you prefer and like. That's very nice, and yeah. And
as far as I know, the throw lever for the 10-60 CM2 is the same throw lever that it is for the PM2.
Exactly. It works from our 1-8 up to the 5-20, 3-20. Also now with the 5-20 with the metal ring, up to the 10-60, 6-36.
And that's quite unique that you have something that goes on the high performance CM2 that also goes on all the other scopes. And the sunshade for the CM2, is that only compatible with the CM2?
No. When you have a 56mm objective from Schmidt and Bender, then you can have all the accessories also for the CM2 line.
So that also is subsequent. It's the same. You can use the 56mm sunshade on any 56mm scope bell from Schmidt and Bender, which is also kind of unique. I really like that. When talking about the CM2, how did that come into production? What was the idea behind the CM2?
The CMT was also to say we are more focused also on the competition sport. We also listen to competition shooters, talk to them. We visited a lot of competition the last year, from PRS to ELR to other things, to speak to the people. And I also talked on the last World Championship in South Africa about the idea of the 10-60 for F-class, and got some ideas, and we implemented it in the scope to make it perfect for the sport. So it's one of our biggest markets, and we have competition, hunting and defense, and it's so different. Each of them have different needs. The competition should need bigger turrets with bigger digits. The military is more focused on small, tiny turrets, and so we make difference, and it's important. And that's for us design. It's a competition master, not a police marksman rifle scope. It's more for the needs of a competition shooter.
Right, and that's a really nice segue to move over here and talk about what we have over here on this stand. This is the 6-36 by 56 PM2 high performance, and this is a as we see here, a defense optic. This is designed and made for police and military?
Depends on the configuration. We have also reticles for PRS, for dynamic shootings. We have our M1FL for ELR with a very fine subtension. And we have different turrets. So it is for competition also.
Right.
But yeah, you can use it for both.
So this has a different turret setup than the one that you'll be seeing on the channel for the review. This has the MTC.
Exactly, MTC inside. We have a double turn turret with locking function. You can put down the locking ring, it locks up. We have the pop-up indicator when you go in the second row.
Yes.
It pops out.
Yeah.
And you have the MTC, so every tank flicker a little bit harder, that you can count at night or without looking on the turret on which position you are.
Exactly. And on the version that you'll be seeing on the channel, you have a lever that
exactly,
you can
with
choose,
the lever technique.
Where you can choose if you want to be locked. On the version I have, the lever is the locking lever.
Exactly.
And then you have the either the MTC, or you can choose also to not have that MTC click.
Yeah.
So what's the thought behind having that lever there where I can choose between the MTC or not?
Yeah, we started with the DT 27 and 35, like here, and some customer likes MTC, but some doesn't like, and we make some configuration with and without. It was, let's develop a turret.
Yeah.
There you have the possibility to switch it off and on. That's for everybody.
And actually, not just between different users of the scope, but actually also I would sometimes prefer MTC, and sometimes I would like not to have MTC.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really cool having that little lever on the scope. Yeah, I'll come into detail with how that looks on the 6036 by 56 I have in the studio. Looking at the scope tubes and the level of elevation in the Schmidt and Benders, do you have any plans on going bigger tubes and higher elevations in the future?
So at the moment, we are still go with 34 millimeter, but also in the 636, it's a very well balanced rifle scope. We have 40 MRAD internal for a 6 to 36.
That's great.
That's
huge.
That's huge.
It is.
And still in 34.
Still on 34, and that is the what do you call this? Actually, a technical term for this thing. I just usually call it the turret housing.
That's a good name. In Germany, we say the Kugel.
The Kugel.
But
so
yeah,
it's the
hub for all the cool stuff.
I usually call this the turret housing.
Yeah.
Or the turret house. I don't know if that's a technical term or not, but anyway, it makes sense to me. But when looking at the turret housing, or the Kugel, we see the spur mounts that I've been working a lot with.
Yeah.
There's almost not enough space in between the two mounts to accommodate the bell house or the turret housing, because it's so huge. Is that the secret to the amount of MRAD that's in the CM2 or the PM2? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, yeah. It helps us to have the whole internal travel, and also here the small angle here helps us to have the 40 MRAD inside.
Right down here. All right.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
All right. So with glass, what do you guys do to make sure that your glass is so clear?
It starts with a very nice optic design, where we work together with the optic design and mechanicals. They have some ideas, the opticals say, hey, that's the first idea, and we check it is possible with the mechanics, and then we start again and again and talk to different users of the needs and find out. And I think we figure out over the years what is very important to have the picture you have with a Schmidt and Bender.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, there's some tricky things you have to think about. But for me, here the good thing is it was so nice, well balanced. It is short, light. Short. Have the brilliant optical quality. It's also go down to 20 meter.
Yeah.
for tri-fire training and so on.
Oh yeah, I love that a lot. And also
not so easy.
for 22 shooters,
Yeah.
the 20 meter
Exactly.
parallax is really good.
Yeah.
Because lots of 22 competitions are 25 yards or 25 meters, and actually also a little bit below. But what I'm also really impressed with, I shouldn't have sold that, but I had an old Schmidt and Bender, a non-zooming
Yes.
Schmidt and Bender that I bought cheaply,
Yeah.
and I sold it for 10 times as much as I bought it for, and that is probably because of the lens design and the glass that's in that optic. Looking at lenses, and this scope, I think that was from the late 1970s, maybe. The glass in it was still clear.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
was still really, really crisp. And I kind of regret selling that, because that would have been a really cool comparison to do. So if you do have a super old optic lying around at the factory, that would be cool to do some video with and do a comparison between the old and the new.
We have also old
cool.
scopes, prototypes, serial production, and other products with serial build. Yeah,
That
sure.
would be that would be so cool to get my hands
also
on some of those.
Awesome to see sometimes in the service department when very old scopes come back from the grandfather, whatever, and say, "Hey, can I change the reticle, or we put illumination inside?"
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Scopes
still
sometimes
possible.
on steel bodies,
Really?
but it still works. Yeah, it's
Really,
beautiful.
that's great. So I can take my super old 1970s, 1960s Schmidt and Bender hunting scope, and I can change the reticles in that, and I can
Sometimes,
put
yeah,
illumination
depends
in that?
on the configuration. But
Wow, I did not know that. That's kind of cool. I like that. So I think that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Is there another optic on the lineup that you would like to show us?
Yeah.
Yeah?
yeah, we have.
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Somebody stole it.
It's gone.
I think it's down there.
Yeah, and here.
All right, so
Maybe we can wait a couple of seconds.
we could probably wait a couple of seconds. All right, so you were wanting to show us the 3-18 by 24, the META.
The Meta, yes,
The Meta.
exactly. Yeah,
So what's so cool about the Meta?
that's now our first focal plane version. We had in the past only the second focal plane, but now it's available in the first focal plane.
Right.
We have it with our very flat turrets,
Right.
with 12 AMRAD inside. It has also the locking function. You press down. The same for the windage adjustment.
Right.
We have also the illumination inside of the parallax. Goes down also to 20 meter to
yes.
infinity. And we have a very nice 0.5 reticle with a tree
Right.
for ELR, for long range hunting,
Right,
and
right,
also
right,
a cross-rover scope. It's the SBX,
Right.
Schmidt and Bender crossover reticle. So it's for hunting and competition.
And for
style.
competition, right.
Like the very growing NL Hunter.
Right.
That's
Well, that's really cool.
Hunting and competition scope in the first focal plane.
Well,
Yeah.
I would love to have one of these also and do some testing on those and see how they perform when going to, for example, a mile or 1,000 meters or whatever with, and I can of course use, even though this is a hunting scope, I can of course use this with my 338 and my 375 if I wanted to. They're recoil rated to take any caliber, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's the I would say the little brother of the 636 and the 10 to 60.
Yeah.
That's the whole 6x zoom line from us. Starts with the 3 to 18, go to the 6 to 36, and then the high end it's the 10 to 60
Right.
of the magnification
Right.
range. So a lot of parts are very similar.
right, what I'm noticing is that this part from here to here is very narrow.
Yeah.
Can I put this in a spur mount,
Yes.
in a one-piece spur mount?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's not a problem. Well, I would love to get my hands on one of these and see what it can do at 1,000 or 1,600 meters. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, right now, I think that was what we could find to talk about. We could probably talk about a lot more, but we need to also conserve a little bit of time so it doesn't turn into a 10-hour show. So, thank you so much, Jonas from Schmidt and
thank
Bender, and thank you for supporting the channel and supporting me.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
means a lot to
It's
me.
my pleasure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.